thanks so much for being with us today. We'd love to learn about you and what you do. So if you would, let us know your name, your role, and the company you work for, please.
I'm Charlie. I work for Greyfriars Roofing, and I'm in my 4th year of my apprenticeship doing lead work.
I'm Reese. I'm in my 2nd year apprenticeship for Greyfriars Roofing.
So what were some of your favorite subjects at school?
Well, personally I liked PE, and I also liked science as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And how about you?
I wasn't really the biggest fan at school, to be honest, but probably about PE and maybe English, I suppose.
Oh, that's good. So when did you decide that you wanted to work in the built environment, and what influenced that decision?
It just really appealed to me, to be honest. You know, like going, seeing all over Scotland, really, like different jobs and stuff like that. And I knew it was a good trade to get into from the people I'd spoke to before.
You're right about that one. How about you?
Yeah, so there's a lot of prospects with this job. You know, there's lead work everywhere in the world, so it's a job that can take you travelling, but it's just a really good thing to watch, and it's like interesting to see how things are done, and just a lot of the jobs turn out beautiful, and it's just amazing to see it. You know, being able to be a part of doing stuff like this.
Absolutely, it's a beautiful craft without a doubt.
100%.
So, what exactly did your career path look like? How did you get here?
Well, I used to work in McDonald's, so and don't get me wrong, it was a good job. I enjoyed it, but obviously I didn't want to work for McDonald's my whole life. I wanted something with a bit more meaning, and as we said, it was a beautiful craft to learn. So yeah, I think lead work suited me perfectly.
Before this, I was working at the Land Registers of Scotland, property deeds and such, but it wasn't the job for me. I just didn't like sitting in an office all day. Kind of wanted to do something with my hands and actually use, you know, my body and my brain. So yeah, it was just it was good to get in there. Just wanted to.
Absolutely, I'm not a desk-based person either, so I completely understand with that one. So, what qualifications and experience are necessary for someone in your role?
I think it's handy to be quite good at maths. We take a lot of sizes, and it is really handy to have that basic knowledge, you know. So
it's probably quite practical with math as well, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And how about you?
Just as pretty much exactly what Charlie said, really.
Yeah.
Just a bit of maths kind of help, and obviously just a general smartness about you, I suppose.
So the next question that we have for you is, can you describe a typical day in your work or your training life?
It can vary from learning how to weld and roll ends and cladding. There's a lot of different things to learn, so we're always busy and we're always learning and we're always doing different things every day, you know.
Sounds great.
Yeah, every day is kind of different. You always, and from like an apprentice's point of view, every day, you know, you see something new and understand something. You learn just something, every like little bits and pieces every day, just to kind of build a general knowledge of how to do the job.
And I bet that's kind of a good feeling as well,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, 100%.
So, what are the best parts of your role, would you say, in your opinions?
Just leaving a job, amazing, you know, and taking loads of photos of it and showing everyone, like showing your bosses, you know, it's a good feeling, getting praised for a nice job that you've left.
Just being able to do something and be able to show what you've done, and just taking a sense of pride and just looking at your work and being, you know, feeling good that you've done a good job and happy that, you know, you're going to leave that on a roof for 100 years or so, because obviously it lasts very long.
And so do you go around showing people and say, you see that roof, I did that there? Or do you look at other people's as well? You're always looking up.
I always criticising and admiring, yeah.
Definitely. Driving past.
Always a learning experience, right?
Out.
All right, so the next one is, what is something that surprised you about working within the built environment in your job in particular?
Well, when I first came, obviously, lead, I didn't have a clue what it was, you know. I didn't know like really any metals were malleable as lead is, so it is really interesting to learn. I'm still learning right now. So.
The
biggest thing that surprised me was the weight of it. It's just it's very heavy, and you wouldn't think it, by it being so malleable and easy to, you know, bend about. You wouldn't think it would still be such a heavy solid metal, which is quite crazy to get your head around.
Yeah, and I guess it lasts quite a long time as well, which is good. But yeah, when I was watching y'all carry it earlier, you could see just how heavy it is. I can imagine getting that on a roof. But
it's no one I imagine.
It can be a nightmare sometimes.
So next question we have is okay, so we've done that one. What advice would you give 15-year-old you about how to succeed in the built environment?
Just listen, knuckle down, and don't think you know better, because you don't.
Can you tell 15-year-old me that too, please?
No, definitely just to take on board everything that you're taught, and you're getting told things for a reason, and sometimes you might think that you're getting nagged at or getting a hard time, but really it's just your tradesman wanting you to know and understand what's best for you and how to do things properly. But yeah.
So the whole measure twice, cut once.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
3 times for Reese.
So I think those are pretty much all the questions we have for you there, but is there anything else that you'd like to tell people about, probably young people about working in the industry? Or
It's a great industry to get into. All the guys are lovely, and it's great to have a laugh with.
And gals.
And gals, yeah, guys and gals. And leadwork is just a phenomenal trade to learn itself. It's endless the amount of things you can learn in this trade.
The camaraderie is just amazing. It's just everyone, you're a team together, and you get on, you joke, take the mick at each other, but it's brilliant. It's a good group of people always, and it's a great thing to get into. Just doing things with your like hands, and actually getting down and dirty and doing a good job, and leaving and feeling pride in what you've done.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. That is amazing.
Well, thank you.
We look forward to seeing more of your development.
Thanks
Thanks very much.